The first thing I'd like to comment on is that this is very much the way I would like to see a lot of the conversations and the video presentations from these groups. Going forward, this is exactly what I'm looking for: is a bit of a dialogue, right? A bit of a presentation of this is where groups sort of ended up with the play. This is where groups ended up with a topic of conversation. Here is sort of a PowerPoint. Do you need to do it exactly this way? No. But this is the kind of in-depth analysis I'd like you to do, right? There is no need necessarily to cite things or to do any sort of advanced notation for any of this. It's more a conversation. It's more a discussion. You can back it up with what you see in the text. I think that this is exactly what I'm looking for. So that said, kind of going into the video, where are we here? Well, I've talked about a lot of these things already, right? I think that this video does a nice job of summarizing a lot of the things that we've talked about up to this point about this play. But I do want to pick up on two of the things that the group talked about. One having to do with the absurdism of the situation and sort of how they perceive the absurd to sort of flow through this play. I think it's very true here that when they talk about Ham and Clove never obtaining the things that they desire, never having their questions answered, and never really answering each other's questions, either not in a satisfactory way, at least, I think that is absolutely a great portrayal and an acting out on stage of this disappointment, of this absurdity, of this meaninglessness of what's going on, right? That if words have no power when you say them, they are meaningless. When, Ham and Clove decide they're going to go, they're going to do this is what's going to happen, this is how they feel, this is what they're going to, explain that, excuse me, that they model this silence of life, this misunderstanding, this inability to get the things that they're really hoping for. And as they model it, I think we see it, right? And we feel it. And we feel the tension of an end game. Things are being lost, and yet there is no losing, right? It's a constant state of losing, but never a deliberate or a solid loss, right? It's always, let's do this, let's have done with it, let's be finished, let's, right? The let's is not in, yes, we're doing it, and it's happening right now. It's always, let's do it, let's do it, let's do it. Very much in the same way as Waiting for Godot was, let's go, right? Okay. And then nothing happens, right? So I think that's very true. I think this group has nailed that idea, right? That we feel that and we see that on stage. I feel like there's one other thing that I really love to talk about at the very, very end. We have in the conclusion that this group sort of proposes, right, that this difference between life is white and black and that life is gray, and that the gray is more of almost a reference of a color, right? It's almost it's a combination, right? It's that between places, right? It's not white, it's not black, but it's between. And I think I do agree for the most part that Ham truly does see things as either or, right? He wants them to be one way or the other, and he needs to be told it's one way or the other. He doesn't want there to be a kind of answer, right? Either the dog is looking at him or it's not. Either it's, zero outside or it's not. Either there is something alive or there is something not, right? The getting on with it, right, is, it's not a definite, it feels like it's, things start or they stop, right? But at the same time, he's stuck there, right? Wanting to see those two things Clove seems to, as this group has pointed out, propose the idea of a gray. That things can be a shade in between, right? And I think that is one of the things that makes them different, right? Having the ability to get up and to go is a real good thing for Clove, but he can't seal the deal, right? He is not able, right? Even though he has the ability to move and to walk and to leave, he doesn't have the ability to do it because he can't see it as a black or a white, right? He has to live there where there's the gray between life and death. As long as one of these is not met, right? As long as we haven't completely lived or completely died, you have to be in that gray. It's an interesting presentation. It's a well-done presentation. And again, right, I think there's a lot of interpretation that's done here, a lot of things to think about, to consider. I'm still thinking about it. I'm still considering sort of the way that I feel. Because I think it's a complicated and a complex play. So well done to our group. Well done to Jenna, James, Gracie, and Ryan. And I do look forward to the rest of the presentations as they come up in the semester.